Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing? Today we are going to be playing with a bunch of new indie makeup, all from different Black owned brands, and this wasn't planned, but it came together. So basically I have one order that I made myself to a new brand that I am so excited to try, and I just have really high hopes for their products. And then I also received a little bit of PR that kind of completed this with an eyeshadow palette, a highlighter palette, some lippies. So I thought we could just go ahead and do it, have fun, it's casual, it's a Sunday, so I'm just drinking some wine. And then for the steps of my makeup routine that I don't have a new product for, I still went ahead and went through my collection and pulled out products from Black owned brands just so that we can really focus on that. And I think that supporting Black owned businesses is important. So I'm going to start off with an oldie but a goodie favorite primer. This is the Danessa Myricks Prism FX Hydrating Lotion, and I have a feeling that this with the foundation I used today, I'm hoping that it ends up being a really beautiful finish. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that on. So the foundation, oh wait, no, sorry, I should do this first. I wanted to go ahead and try this. It's not going to be my lip product that I wear for today, but I thought I could use it to prep the lips. This is from LYS, and it is their Speak Love Glossy Lip Treatment Oil, which I just thought sounds really, really nice. If you're not familiar with them, I really don't know how to pronounce their name. I think it's just LYS, like love yourself. I'm pretty sure. I saw some people saying it was pronounced less, but they are a clean beauty brand that is Black owned in Sephora, and they have pretty like mid-end pricing, more affordable than a lot of other things in Sephora, and they have an amazing shade range, so I'm really excited. And everything they do is triangle shaped. I don't know if you can kind of see it there, the box that this came in. So cute. But I have other like actual lip products I want to try, so let's just put this on for now and see how it does. Ooh, okay. I've said it before, I'm not a fan of a squeezy tube applicator. I knew that it was going into this. It's just not my favorite. I mean, it looks very glossy, feels pretty comfortable. Kind of reminds me of the Ulta Juice Infused lip oil, but without the scent or anything. I have this one here and it actually went bad, but you can see how much I used of it. I really, really love this. This is giving me the same vibes. We'll just let it go, see how it feels over the course of this video. Now jumping into foundation, I have the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I just went ahead and picked out the lightest shade, which is LG1. I tried to do their like foundation match thing on their website. I think I may have done my Fenty foundation, and the shade that they recommended me to was like 6 or 7 shades up in their line, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm willing to take that risk, because I typically always just buy the lightest shade of a foundation. 99% of the time it works out for me. The only time it hasn't is the lightest Fenty foundation is very, very pale, and the lightest NYX foundations are very, very pale, but most other brands I can get away with. But yeah, I just went ahead and purchased the lightest one, and it's supposed to have a golden undertone, which if I had to choose between cool toned and warm toned, I would choose warm, but I personally think I'm more neutral. I also wanted to go ahead and try out this brush from Mented. This is their bronzer brush, but it feels so nice, so soft and dense at the same time. I have a really good feeling about this brush, and I think it could be amazing for foundation. I mean, I guess I could see using it for cream bronzer. Maybe it's a little bit big, but I think for foundation, this is going to be awesome. So that's what I'm going to be using with this foundation today. And I can try and give like a full review in the future once I've tested this out a bunch more, because I have not used it at all yet. Just going to go ahead and start off with one pump. Oops. Okay, that was... Okay, actually I'm going to do... Oh god, I did 2 pumps. Okay. May have done too much. It's just the one pump looks so small and the 2 pumps looks like so much. Just gonna go ahead and dip in. Okay. Okay. So immediately, the shade reminds me so much of NARS. Was it NARS Siberia? Because that's the shade I always wore in the NARS foundation, because, no. Or was it Albatross? No, that was a highlighter. I think it was Siberia. That was the shade I wore in their foundation, because the next shade up was super, super pink. So even though it was a little bit more yellow, I made it work, which is kind of how I feel about this. I thought it was going to be really full coverage when I first put it down, but I mean, I have a little bit of acne here and it only partially covered it. I feel like it helped take away some of the redness in my face. I would say it looks like a decent medium coverage. I mean, yeah, I definitely think it's making a huge difference. I don't know why my face is so red today, but it's doing a good job. I think 2 bumps might have actually been perfect. I feel like I probably should have zoomed you guys in, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I always forget. I feel like I gotta zoom you in even more. Okay. My monitor is so big that I always feel like you can see what I'm doing. And then when I go to edit and I see how far away I am, I'm like, you can't see anything. So I struggle, but I feel like overall that looks pretty good. You can still see my acne peeking through, but it really helped even my skin tone. I would say it's a medium coverage. It does not look like it's sticking to any dry patches. I mean, even my nose, it doesn't really look dry. I feel like it looks pretty nice. I mean, I guess I can see it on my skin a little bit, but I would say that overall it looks pretty natural, and I think would probably look really pretty with a sponge, so I'll definitely have to try that next time I wear it. I like this brush. I'm curious to try it with more foundations, but it's very soft, blended in really, really nicely. So now for concealer, I'm gonna go into the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover Perfecting and Shaping Wand, and this is the shade N01. Super full coverage, so I'm only gonna go in with a little bit. Oh, that's dried out. Love that for me. Okay, just gonna go in with a little bit on my inner under eye area, and then I'm gonna spot conceal. And then just blending that in. Also, before I go in with any powder, I'm going to contour just a little bit because I don't have like a new bronzer or anything to try. And I'm just going to take my Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Amber. Throwing it on. I think I'm just going to go ahead and try the Mented Bronzing Brush again for this. See how it works. Okay, not mad at it. I feel like my contour on this side looks really nice. For blush, the last new product that I picked up from LYS is a blush called Kindness, and this one made me so happy because I really wanted this for the shade. I just thought it was such a beautiful, like, peachy moment, and I don't really think I have a cream blush in this shade, and I'm trying not to get repeats. I'm loving my cream blushes, but I don't want to go overboard. So when I saw the shade, I was like, yes, love it. I added it to my basket and I didn't even realize that it was named Kindness, which, not to be like weird or anything, but I'm always like trying to be as kind as I can and trying to help other people be kind. You know, I'm a Harry Styles fan. Treat people with kindness. So I was happy to see this. And there is a new blush from Tower 28 that looked like a similar shade to this, and I was like, that's really pretty too. But because I already purchased this one, I decided not to get the Tower 28 one. So I'm just gonna, ooh, that's super emollient. So just sticking my finger in, lots of pigmentation coming up right away. Such a pretty peachy shade. Just gonna go ahead and tap that. Oh my gosh, I love the shade. I feel like that's the prettiest peach I've ever seen. Not to be dramatic, but just throwing this on. Okay. I think I'm going in a little too heavy, but I just like the color so much. What is wrong with me? Okay, and it has like such a beautiful glow to it as well. I'm gonna go back into the bronzing brush that I was using and just kind of go over the top. I'm happy. I'm happy so far. So really quickly, I'm just gonna set just a tiny bit underneath my eyes and then where my acne is, just to help the coverage stay there a little bit better. And I'm gonna be using my Danessa Myricks Evolution Powder in the shade 01. I'm gonna take a break on the face and jump into the eyes. I'm gonna start off with some eyeshadow primer. Just gonna use the Danessa Myricks Invisible Eyeshadow Base. So the eyeshadow palette that I'm using today, I am so excited about. When I opened this, I literally gasped because it is so pretty. This is the new Genesis palette, and it is a collaboration between Midas Cosmetics and Drench Cosmetics, and it's just such a beautiful color story. So here's what it looks like. I mean, the blues, the purple, the like pops of neutral. I just feel like this is so beautiful in person. Like, I feel like it wouldn't be my video if I didn't zoom out and swatch this before we apply it, because I don't even know what I want to do with it yet, and there's so many beautiful shades here. So let's do some swatches. So first we have Magical, which is a really beautiful kind of like clay brown shade. Revolutionary, which that's really pretty. I mean, it's just like a metallic bronze. Not normally the shade I would go for. The absolute most, but it makes sense in this color story. We have Educated, which is a even richer warm brown. Okay. We have Excellent, which is a Barney purple matte. Influential, which is a metallic copper. Melanaire. It's like millionaire, but with melanin. Goodness, I can't speak. Okay, this is a really, really rich, warm, like, kind of reminds me of Makeup Geek Bitten. This is the first shade that really caught my attention. Next we have Daring, which looks like a really stunning metallic duochrome. It has like a soft like berry purple base and like a light blue shift. Super, super pretty. Unbothered, which is a metallic cobalt blue. And then Captivating, which is a rich matte navy. It feels super pigmented. Feels a little bit drier too. Oh wow, that's so pretty. Okay. Next we have the Standard, which is such a pretty kind of like gray blue deep metallic. I feel like that would be such a stunning smoky eye. I feel like that didn't even grab my attention originally, but now I'm thinking maybe I'll base my look around that shade. We have Blueprint, which is a black, and this one actually feels pretty smooth for being a really pigmented black. And then we have Phenomenal, which is a metallic turquoise. Man, that shade is stunning. I just feel like I absolutely have to play with the blues today, like that row. Life. Lastly, we have Loved, which is a deep matte teal. Super pretty. Ambitious, which this one almost looks like a silver white shade, but it seems to have like blueness to it. I don't know if I would say it's a shift per se, but it's very, very pretty. And then we have Worthy, which is more of a neutral deep brown, which I mean those three shades together look like a pretty look in itself. Alright, so there is the entire palette swatched out. I think it looks really pretty, very cute color story. Overall, everything feels pretty pigmented and smooth, so I'm excited to get this on my eyes. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the shade Loved. So hopefully I don't get too much fallout because my face is already done pretty much. But just gonna go ahead and start that off on my outer V and then bringing it into the crease. Don't think I've ever used Midas's eyeshadows with this primer from Danessa Myricks before, so I'm not sure what to expect. But I'm just gonna kind of take whatever's left over my brush and blend to the best of my ability. Kind of just get it softened out and going back in with a little bit more. I'm also going to take a bit of that shade and connect it to the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this blue right here called Captivating. I'm a little bit nervous because it's super pigmented, but I'm going to go ahead and pop that in my outer V to start off with. Just start lightly buffing it out and then bring it through my crease a little bit as well. Just packing on a little bit more. So far doing pretty good at not getting any fallout. Also grabbing a bit of Captivating and popping that along the lower lash line. I think just to add a little bit of extra depth and to try one more shade, I'm gonna go into the black called Blueprint on a pretty small little crease brush and just pop that on my outer V. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go into this shade right here called Unbothered, and I'm gonna pop that on the middle of the lower lash line. I'm going to go into the shade Phenomenal, popping that on the little portion of my lower lash line that's left. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Ambitious on my inner corner. So now for my lid, I'm a little torn because part of me wants to use the standard over the entire thing. I think that could be really pretty, but also part of me wants to put Daring on the front because that shade's just calling to me as well. I think I'm just gonna do standard all over the entire lid. Just see what it looks like. I'm gonna wet my brush too just to make it stick a little bit better because I'm like really afraid of fallout at this point. Oh wow. That shade, the shimmer, I mean, are you kidding me? That is so pretty. I love it. I feel like that's just like another level of stunning. So really quickly off camera, I'm gonna throw on some liner, some mascara, and I'll be right back. So for highlighter today, I have the new Mented Highlighter Palette, and I have not swatched this or anything yet, so I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna feel or if the lightest shade is gonna be light enough, but here's what it looks like. So let's just go ahead and do some swatches. They're not like super pigmented. That's the lightest one. We've got this one, which is a little bit more like an orangey bronze, like an olivey bronze. And then here is the deepest one. So I'm gonna try that one out. I'm not sure if it's gonna work out for me. This is kind of something I said yes to in PR because I just was really curious to try Mented and I haven't tried anything from them yet. But realistically, this is probably not something I would purchase because I really try not to buy palettes or face palettes unless I feel like I can use every single shade. I feel like this one is orange enough that I could probably use that as a blush, but these are a little bit too pigmented for me imagining myself to use them as bronzer toppers, which is what I've done with some bronzier highlights in the past, and I do like the way that like a shimmery bronze looks. But either way, I'm excited to try the formula. So I'm going to go into a little bit of this one with a Sigma Soft Blend number 30. I mean, it's definitely a little bit more on the bronzy side. I feel like I could blend it back and it doesn't look bad facing forward. But if you have fair skin, I wouldn't recommend this palette, I don't think. I just feel like that one shade alone is not enough for me. But I am really curious to try more from Mented, so maybe I should just go on and make an order. If you've tried anything from them and you have any recommendations, please feel free to leave them down below. I feel like I need to go in with something on top of it. Let's see. Ooh, I got this. About to go in with the most blinding highlight. You're not ready. I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks in Light Aura of Light highlighter. This one is stunning. It's going to pop a little bit on top to lighten this up. Haven't even applied highlighter to my nose and it looks so glowy. So before we apply the lip products, update on the lip oil. I do feel like I'm getting a little bit of like the dry skin kind of sticking towards the outer parts of my lips, but I feel like overall it is very comfortable. My lips feel pretty moisturized, so I definitely continue to see myself using that. I feel like that's something I could see myself throwing in my purse. So last but not least, Midas Cosmetics came out with some Valentine's lip liner and lipstick duos. Let's just go ahead and pull them all out. We can swatch them and I'll decide what lip I'm feeling today for this look. All right, so this first lipstick is called What's Poppin', and this is the first bullet lipstick formula that Midas has done, so I'm very curious. This looks like kind of like a light corally pink. Not my typical shade. I'm not really a pink girl, but I do like the tone of this. It has like a rosiness to it rather than just like a bright fleshy pink. And the other shade here is called Naughty. Don't know why that needed a British accent, but this one is another pink, just a little bit deeper. And they look like they have like a satin finish, like a semi-satin finish. So there's what that looks like. I mean, these colors definitely make sense for a Valentine's moment. So the lip liner actually doesn't have a name on the actual product, but I think it's called Tight or Fight. I'm having a hard time reading the font, but this is like a really pretty kind of muted plum shade. And the other one is called Stone Fox. This one is like a bright pink. I feel like I'll try these out more in the future. The lip liners feel good. They feel very creamy, but I think today I'm just gonna go ahead and do the lightest shade, What's Poppin'. Oh, that's pigmented. Okay, I might just like put a little bit on and then just tap it in just to get like a little bit of pinkness to my lips without going fully opaque. Feels very comfortable, kind of reminds me of the Lethal Cosmetics lipstick formula. And then I'm gonna squeeze out just a little tiny bit of the lip oil and pop that over top. So let's talk about everything that I tried today and kind of my first impression thoughts. I'll start off with the foundation because it's right in front of me. I feel like this looks really pretty and glowy on the skin. I feel like it's a little bit more coverage than I normally go for, but I think next time I use it, I'm going to sheer it out, and I'm also going to try it with a wet sponge. On my face, when I look up close, I feel like I can tell, I can see that I'm wearing foundation, but overall I think it looks pretty nice, so I'm excited to give it more of a shot and keep using it in the future. As far as the highlighter palette goes, I think that it just really depends on your skin tone, whether this will be worth it for you or not. For me, I personally wouldn't purchase it just because the lightest shade is just a little bit too deep for me. I feel like I could make it work in like the right setting, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a product that I would reach for a ton. When it comes to Black-owned brands, I never want to like speak too much on a product not working for me or a shade not working for me because I know that it's not for me, but they did send it to me. They did ask for my opinion, so that's kind of just where I'm at. But I will say that their bronzing brush for foundation is beautiful. I definitely see myself using that a ton in the future. As far as the lip oil goes from LYS, still gonna keep testing it out, seeing how I like it, but so far so good. The blush, I don't even know where I put the blush, but I love it. The blush is the perfect shade. I feel like I'm going to be using that so much. It makes me really happy. The lip products I'm going to have to test out more in the future. And then the Genesis palette, I feel like it looks really, really beautiful. I don't know if I necessarily love it with the primer that I used today, but I feel like overall it's just such a stunning color story. If you like a mixture of really rich, warm neutrals and then some really fun, vibrant blues in different undertones, I think that this is really, really cute. The shade, the standard that I used today is just so pretty. It kind of reminds me of a shade from the Eternal Eclipse palette from Lunar Beauty, but I might like this even more. I don't know. I just think it's stunning. So I feel like Midas continues to improve their formula more and more and more, and I'm just loving it. The mattes are a little bit, tiny bit on the drier side, but I felt like that didn't affect blending. I felt like I didn't have like the shades not wanting to stick to my eyes or anything. So overall, I'm excited to use that more. Okay, I think that is everything new that I tried today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.